and it all comes down to you. Well, you know that it doesn't. Lightning strikes. Maybe once, maybe twice. All right, we sound good. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We are going to be talking about data centers again today. I'm not going to stop talking about these. We're going to keep checking in every now and then and get little updates on how that's all developing. It's still developing, just, out of control. They're building them everywhere, doing whatever they want. Which is really sad because it's affecting a lot of people who can't do anything about it because we're not billionaires. So let's get started here with this little compilation I made.
Giant warehouses are popping up across the US, more than 2 every week. They feed AI algorithms, store photos, and answer our questions.
Hey Google.
A data center campus like this can...
Look how ugly that is. And just think about that used to be all trees and animals and creatures, and it was all ripped down to put up this crap.
Consume as much power and water as an entire city. And for some, these clusters are appearing too close to home.
Yeah, I mean, I was the fourth homeowner in this neighborhood.
Donna Gallant has lived on this street in Prince William County, Northern Virginia, for the last 30 years. All very peaceful until 2021, when things started to change. These are Google data centers, and ever since they started rising from the ground, Donna has been looking for answers.
There's no transparency, and
with the data center companies or with local authorities?
Both.
Yeah.
So anytime you ask a question, it's, oh, we signed an NDA, we can't talk about it. Oh, we're under NDA, we can't talk about it. So there's no transparency at all.
It's not right.
The site isn't complete yet, but she says the noise is already taking its toll.
When I go to my room at night, the tonal noise immediately triggered my anxiety to the point where I couldn't sleep.
Oh, I believe it. I'm positive that I would be the same way. I'm one of these weird people. I'm really sensitive to things and like lights and electronics. Like whenever I go on an airplane, for example, when they put you through that gigantic thing that they make you walk through and it like scans your body, every time I have to walk through that thing, I get violently sick afterward, like full-blown headache, throwing up. I don't know what it is, but I know if they build any of these centers anywhere near me where I live and I can hear it like that, I will go crazy too. I totally get it.
I ended up having to go down on my first floor and put noise-canceling headphones on just so I could sleep.
That's not right.
But for Donna and her neighbors, this is just the start. Over the next few years, they will find themselves surrounded by a string of new data centers.
Wow, it's so loud. This would drive me crazy. I would actually go into a psychosis because of this. Because you can't turn it off. There's nothing you can do. It's just there. It probably makes the ground vibrate too.
No better place to live than out here, man.
Pastor Greg Jones loves this home that he bought 7 years ago. Now, along with everyone else living in Meadowland Village, he's being forced to move.
That's what makes it very difficult, is realizing you come home one day and realize, man, you got to move all this.
At the same time, a Fortune 50 company has submitted a proposal to build a data center on 2,000 plus acres of farmland beside a residential area in Maysville. Just days ago, residents in this mobile home park received this letter from their landlord on behalf of DPD Property Management, saying the park is under contract with a potential buyer, with the project developer offering each resident $20,000 to cover moving expenses. However, those
That's not going to cover anything, thanks.
expenses must be approved.
The letter said up to $20,000. And my reply was, I don't think that's going to work.
Everybody's
Good for
just
him.
on the edge.
Another one of the residents impacted is Roger Purcell. This is his home behind me. This ramp will need to be moved or rebuilt as he makes the transition.
There's no trailer courts around here enough to even absorb probably half of these trailers.
And then you've got water, electric, sewage. If your land don't perk, that's even twice as much.
That's why for Jones, Purcell, and Rico Roberts, when it comes to this offer, 20 grand in expenses to move, this is the bottom line.
$20,000 ain't nothing.
For almost 50 years, a natural creek has flowed through my property. It's 20 feet wide, up to 4 feet deep. It has persisted through drought, flood, seasonal change. It's part of a connected system. Until construction began upstream on the data center, its behavior was stable and predictable. After construction started, all of that changed here in Beaver Dam. The creek began to stop flowing entirely. Without rainfall, it would abruptly return, often cloudy and opaque like milk, with enough force to cause drastic erosion and damage. This pattern repeated itself dozens of times over a single construction season, to the point that it is dry half of the time. Dust from the construction covers my yard. My grass is white, and I'm 1.6 miles away.
Imagine what she's breathing into if the dust is covering the grass like that. I can't imagine what all these people are breathing in when they walk outside.
Water testing on my property shows elevated strontium, a very dangerous metal, and other indicators consistent with deep groundwater influence. I bought the property to have horses across from my childhood home. My parents live across the street with their horses. I wanted to be here forever. I can't even leave.
Oh, I would sue so many people over that. I don't play about my horses. You're not going to hurt my horses like that. No way.
I am trapped here because nobody wants to buy my land. They don't want to be near a data center. And they don't want a 20-foot empty ditch in the front yard. Metaphorically, we are launching planes that are still being built, and we are forced to pilot them, and we don't know how to fly.
Meta's new $27 billion AI data center is causing chaos in a small town in Louisiana. In February, I flew down to Louisiana, to Richland Parish, a rural county where Meta is building a mega AI data center. Just to put it in perspective for you, this AI data center is 4 million square feet, 2,250 acres. That's roughly 70 football fields. When I was in Richland Parish, I spoke to over a dozen residents and really got to hear their concerns. People are talking about how their rents are going up because there are thousands of workers coming from out of state, staying in these massive RV parks. I also spoke to local businesses that are suffering. While there are definitely businesses that are making money hand over fist, you're also finding small businesses that are struggling because they can't get in with the right people or get the right catering jobs for the Meta workers on site, for example. And then you're also just seeing a tremendous amount of noise and bright lights. This is a massive site that's brightly lit all night.
I want to pause this for a second. I feel like they're intentionally destroying everything. All of the environment. They don't care. Like, whatever happened to regulations, environmental regulations? Does that not exist anymore? Like, did that go away in my lifetime? I was talking to my mom about that the other day, and she was saying how when she was growing up, that was like the big time where, everybody was trusting of the government. Everybody was like, oh yeah, we have all these regulations in place and we work really hard to make sure, we put laws and caps on things so that we can't allow these giant corporations to grow and just go out of control like this. And I don't know what's happened. I guess everybody thought that everything was covered, and so everybody kind of lived their lives for a couple generations, and now we're dealing with the consequences of nobody advocating for the environment and for these types of regulations, and they just got bought out, I guess. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm super curious what you guys think about that.
Long, and people just see a halo over their house. It's important to keep in mind that this area of Northeast Louisiana has typically struggled with jobs, with poverty, and this AI data center is considered to be an economic boom opportunity for the whole region. A lot of people ask me whether these mega AI data centers are worth the disruption. I can tell you that I've now visited 5 across the country, in Texas and Michigan and in Arizona, as well as Louisiana. And I can say it's hard to tell how it's going to play out. They are incredibly disruptive. The residents often don't realize what's happening until it's already happening. There are many people who still hope that the long term is beneficial for these regions, but right now it's chaos.
I don't feel like it's going to be beneficial at all to completely destroy all of our natural resources for a computer. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that smart. Maybe I can't, follow statistics well enough, but it seems like an extremely bad idea to me. I'm even where I live, my family's lived here for generations, and my mom, she grew up here. Her whole family was farmers. They had horses, cows, all that. And she always tells me that when she was growing up, there were none of 80% of the building and infrastructure that's here now was not here. And it was all rolling hills, and you could ride your horse to the market. And I mean, it was beautiful. And it's so sad. It makes me so sad to see the constant ripping apart of the environment to put up disgusting $600,000 luxury apartment houses that are all on top of each other. I mean, I don't personally get it, to put up data centers and put up these giant warehouses. They literally last year, they just tore down a local goat farm. Okay. We need farms. I want to emphasize this. We need farms. We have to have farms to survive, to live. Okay. We got to eat. We can't eat industrial sludge and be healthy and be able to survive off of that. But they tore down this goat farm to put up a giant warehouse. And the whole time they were doing it, the whole community, we were all talking about it. We all thought it was going to be an Amazon center. Would you believe that they ripped that goat farm down to put up a warehouse that nobody's using? Literally. Nobody's using it. It's completely vacant. It's up for rent. It's been up for rent for the past year since they put it up. And it's just sitting there looking ugly, making everyone's lives less happy because I would rather see a goat farm. I used to love seeing those goats. I would roll my window down and say hello to them. Not anymore. It's a shame. It really is. I just have this little YouTube video. We'll watch a couple minutes of this too. I think actually this is around where I live too.
Laura Evans' home in suburban Chicago last spring when backup generators kicked in at the data center 1,000 feet from her backyard.
And it never goes away.
Never goes away. Laura tells us the data center emits a low hum 24/7, and it's not just the noise taking a toll. She says in the last year, her average electricity bill has spiked 23%.
And how do you budget when it's changing that much in 1 year?
That's the other thing. If they're going to insist upon forcing this on everyone, they need to pay for it. The people building these buildings need to be the ones paying for all of it. But that's the thing too. We don't have enough electricity. Our grid is not large enough and able to power these data centers as it is. It's going to take away from regular tax-paying people. And it's not right.
You can't. And the electric company warned prices could rise even more.
They need more power at the data centers.
Saying one reason why is increased electricity use from data centers and artificial intelligence.
The energy demand from these facilities affects our ability to meet clean energy goals, have a livable planet, and also just pay our bills.
What am I at? I'm at like 13 minutes. We'll watch a couple more minutes.
ABC News and our owned and affiliated stations spoke with communities across the country, grappling with the rapid buildup of data centers to support the AI boom. An analysis from our data team found there are more than 3,000 data centers in the U.S. About 1,200 more are now under construction.
This is crazy. I'm actually over in this region, over in like the East Coast area. I didn't realize there were so many around me. That's kind of scary. What happens if I get cancer? Who's going to pay for that? Because, I mean, I really do believe that the ripping up of the environment and all of these, they're going to cause health problems for people. Absolutely, 100%. The water's getting contaminated, like all of that. The water, the air, everything. Because of these data centers. And it's going to cause health problems for everyone across the board that lives near them especially.
Or soon to be built.
If you're watching a show or if you're using AI, ultimately a lot of the computation happening there, or at least the storage for that thing, is in a data center somewhere.
And our analysis finds a majority of the country's large data centers are or will be in cities, towns, or developed suburbs.
You need a really well-developed, very consistent grid. They need to be extremely reliable in the energy that they use, because if a data center suddenly goes out, if it completely loses power, all the tens of thousands of people who are interacting with it are suddenly going to be very mad.
When these data centers go offline, your apps can go down almost right away.
Exactly.
So this is pretty much as close as we're going to get to where this data center is popping up. It's just a massive construction site. Hard to comprehend the scale of this.
A 2-hour drive north of Laura's home, we visited the site of what will be one of the biggest data centers in the U.S. in the small town of Port Washington, Wisconsin. A $15 billion project backed by OpenAI and Oracle that's part of the White House's Stargate initiative announced on.
I feel like they all look guilty. They're like, yeah, we know we're about to destroy everything, but we're going to make a lot of money doing it.
President Trump's second day in office. The campus sits on a plot of farmland bigger than 500 football fields.
Again, would you guys rather have food or a computer? I don't know. For me, it's a very easy food, 100%.
And will eventually use about the same amount of electricity needed to keep the lights on in all the homes in Philadelphia.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we're going to end the video there. We're at 15 minutes. Goodness gracious. All right, guys. Let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious your thoughts on this, you know. Do you think it's going to go well? Do you think that like they're going to be able to put all this infrastructure up and that it's going to run properly? Or do you think it's going to be an absolute disaster? I would love to know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, you know, share it with your friends, whatever, hit the notification bell. It helps me out. I'm trying to grow this little channel over here. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.